Greetings, everybody, and welcome to the Jane Live Miracle Medicine Show. After such a long time, I took a bit of leave of absence to complete my doctorate thesis on a holistic quantum well-being framework. And I'm very happy to say that the draft was handed in last week. So I'm back in the saddle with you on a Thursday, discussing leading edge up to the minute results from the practice here in Bryanston, the 365 Healthy by Choice practice. And, as usual, educating, sharing, lecturing, and taking the information as far as we can. So I really want to use this time today to ask you to put in the chat your questions, and I'm going to answer them. I've already got a whole lot here on my phone from a week or two ago when I asked you for some questions that you wanted answered, and some really good topics came up. And I thank you for that, because I can talk on any topic, but I don't really know what you want to know. So this is just so useful to me. So apart from doing the my thesis, we've been quite busy with some of our educational shows. We were at the Wellness Hub in Rosebank on Sunday, and we took along our laptops and our quantum machines and our products, and we had a little pop-up center there where people came in and did their assessments, 5-minute assessments, complimentary, and then I discussed their health with them and recommended some products. So that was really fantastic. I think the biggest downside of that was that 5 people came up to me independently with heart pain, and I've never had that before. And I just find that that's just, I don't know if this is the sign of the times or what's happening, but also in the practice in Bryanston, many people are coming in with heart pain. So I find that, as I say, strange, and, we need to fix this. It's inflammation, it's toxicity, it's parasites. It's also blocked vessels, very thick blood, fatty blood, blood full of circulating immune complexes, and parasites and so on, moving very slowly, vessel walls that are also covered in plaque, calcification, so a lack of oxygen. All of these things, accumulate and can create the heart pain. And, and from an emotional point of view, remember that the heart is related to love and hate. So, possibly lots of, unforgiven hatred, and, which is manifesting in the physical. And, those emotions we're always looking at working on, because we need to get back to our authenticity and the true us from the existential morphogenic field, as opposed to living in the man-constructed experiential reality, because it's not the reality. We decided based on a trauma that we absorbed into our heart that we were going to live a life in a certain way, and we're going to live our story and tell our story, and that becomes our reality. But it's not reality. That's just from an earthly experience. The real existential reality is our authenticity, and the incident or the trauma when we were small takes us out of that space, and some of us never find our way back. But the problem is that this emotional space is manifested then in the physical. And until we remove that, until we do the reconnection back to this authentic self, those disease symptoms will remain. So yes, we do detoxify. We use a lot of our oxygen, our DMSO, and our whole reset kit, our whole program, to purify on the physical level, and we also then come in and do the purification on the emotional level. Absolutely 100% critical. So the consciousness always speaks, it always remains, and that's what needs to be rearranged. And I think that's the beauty of what I do, and the most satisfying of everything, when you just suddenly see the life force flowing through people, and them releasing and letting go of the old trauma that they've held so tightly for so long. So that's just a bit of a way of introduction, but that is really what we're focusing on at the moment. And that is it. So, always good to to be sharing that part with you. Regarding the questions and answers, some of them that came up, I was given a question about how do we make healing simple and slow the aging process by one of the customers or clients. And, just at the outset, prevention is always better than waiting for when it's too late. So we always stress that. And here are some of the things that I mentioned to focus on. Some of them are the 365 Healthy by Choice products, and some of them are lifestyle free, easily available, and very, very effective. So this is not by all means everything, but it's quite a good summary. If you've got your pen and paper out there, it might be a good idea to make some notes here. So we use the Activa stem cells, which are the very high proteins, and we're looking at the royal jelly, blue-green algae, cordyceps, lion's mane, phyto-C. We're looking at those kind of very high-level nutrients, which are activated in the sunshine. So they're in our veins, and the sun's rays, the photons, connect with the proteins in our veins and our cells, and they create and activate the stem cell to be produced. So it's not like you're taking a stem cell, you're taking the precursors that are going to produce the stem cells inside your body. And remember, a stem cell is a stem cell, it's an initiation cell. And depending on what the body needs, they will be called, and they will morph into the liver, the heart tissue, blood, bones, whatever is they're called to do. If it's pain, they will go and they will assist with pain and inflammation as well. So it's completely natural, all of this. So aside from providing the body with the necessary proteins for the enzymes and hormones and neurotransmitters, nuclear proteins, the stem cells, if you get in the sun with having taken them, will produce the stem cells for you. Very important. Then we like to look at minerals. So we'll use the Almost Gold Elixir, which has got the gold, silver, copper, nickel, palladium, iridium, osmium, 10 superconductive metal minerals, all from the platinum precious metal stable. And they are essential because we need conductivity. We are a battery. We need to be charged, and we need conductivity. And with the light, if you don't have copper wire, the light's not going to go on. Same with us. So we need these conductive mineral metals, and we also need then the semiconductors, which would be the calcium, potassium, magnesium, zinc, and they all are the semiconductors. We need those too. So we have a mineral electrolyte product also, which is completely natural, and the body will take what it needs. There's no tricking, there's no chelation. The body simply gets absorbed, provided, of course, you took the microbiome reset to do the absorption and the carry through, and then the body will use it as necessary. So very important, those two for the minerals. And then remember, the replica RNA DNA has got the 4 basic proteins, alanine, guanine, cytosine, and thymine, which are the basic building block proteins for all the proteins in the body. And we need all 4, otherwise we're going to be missing some of our proteins. And uracil is the 5th one, which is associated with the RNA chromosome. So these are basically resetting the body right at the inside the nucleus, right at the cell division place, to ensure each replication is perfect. Very important, this product. So that's the replica RNA DNA. Most of these are taken in the morning, 2 capsules. If it's a liquid, it's usually 2 teaspoons to a tablespoon in the morning. The only one 2 that are continued would be the flaxseed oil and the microbiome reset, at definitely morning and night. And also the mineral electrolytes morning and night. And then I've got a very important point here, which is earthing and grounding. So I always say to people, how do you charge your cell phone? We plug it into the wall. How do we charge the human body? We stand on the ground. We plug into the ground. The ground is full of electrons, which filter through our feet and charge the body. Our chair in the atmosphere is completely positive. So we need to neutralize that with the negative electrons from the earth. We have it there, right there. Step outside, get in the sunshine, get the photons, get the nutrients from the sun, and get charged from the earth. Don't forget to breathe. Breathing is one of the primary nutrients as well, the breath of life. And then don't forget to hydrate. So we're doing quite well now. We're talking about, I lost the place. We're talking about our stem cells. Oh, need to just find my place again. Here we go. We're talking about the stem cells. We're talking about almost gold and the mineral, both of those conductive metals. We're talking about the replica RNA to bring in the genetic code and all the proteins. We're talking about grounding. We're talking about sunshine, breathing, and hydration. Then to get proper digestion, you need the microbiome reset, because the probiotics will extract out of protein the amino acids which get absorbed. We do not absorb protein. We absorb the amino acid, the smaller molecule, the broken down molecule in its simplest form. Without a probiotic, that's very, very little chance that's going to happen. Yes, you can use enzymes to assist as well in the breakdown, but ultimately at the end of the day, we need the probiotics, the beneficial, effective microorganisms. So we have that. And then we need this emotional release work, exercising, healthy food, of course. So the more close the food is to its natural form, the less processed, frozen, heated, and all the rest of it, the better, the more the life force. So everything that I am speaking about is about life force. So we need the healthy food, nutrient-dense foods, and that would be what's in our activa stem cell, what's in the replica RNA, also pollen, propolis, royal jelly, blue-green algae, chlorella spirulinas, and all the medicinal mushrooms, organic sprouts, organic nuts, seeds, and fruit. Very important, those. Do the things which make you happy, follow your passion. We've got the QUEXED, the quantum skio eductor QUEX, and this device is absolutely critical and crucial to health and quantum medicine, because it not only does the assessment accurately of 11,000 frequencies, it also treats back through bioresonance. So you're winning both ways. It's assessing and treating in real time. So it fixes it, and then it looks to see what's next. It fixes that, let all the pieces of the jigsaw puzzle fit in, and then it treats that. So it's absolutely invaluable in the work that I do. The people who are in the clinic, I'm watching their oxygen levels permanently. I'm watching their whole the charge of their body, and able to tell immediately, what's going to be needing to happen next. So that quantum device is absolutely critical. And then, of course, to remember to detoxify, because longevity, anti-aging are all about life force. And I've just given you the whole list of life force things, but we are experiencing an avalanche of toxins, more than the human body can deal with, more than the liver can deal with, the gut, the lungs, the kidney, the skin. So good infrared saunas, good oxygen detoxification, maybe you could do some fasting too, absolutely critical, but that'll be in my next post. So very, very important. So what came out of this as well? Just going to see if there's anything here. Yes. Okay. What happens when you're standing on the earth? Hold on. Let me just open this properly. In a river. Okay. Well, that's perfect, because in water, you actually ground even better. So, sometimes people feel better after a bath even, because you've grounded. So water is important, and the earth should be like the seashore, wet. So if you've got dew on the grass, or it's just rained, or you're in a forest that's wet and damp, you will get quicker absorption of the electrons. Now, you can't over-absorb. So half an hour is usually really adequate to fill up completely, to recharge yourself. Half an hour in the morning, half an hour in the evening, that's not really a big ask. At the same time, the photons from the sunshine from the sun are falling onto you, into your eyes and your skin, and you're breathing, you're listening to nature. So it's really, really beautiful. So yeah, great question there. Thanks. let's get back to where we were here. So actually, I think, Cubby, you asked me about hydration, and I did answer. Hydration is really misunderstood as well, because some people think they can just go to the tap and drink 3 liters of water and they're fine. No, not at all. In fact, probably what you're doing there is you are diluting all the minerals out of your body, because the tap water is generally devoid of all the minerals that we need anyway. So by osmosis, they've moved from our body into the water, and there's so much water that you're just diluting all your electrolytes. So, 2 liters is probably tops. But then again, in the water, you need to have your Himalayan salt or your lemon juice to create a charge in the water to get it absorbed into the body. The body's got to want to absorb the water. So obviously the best water is spring water, pH 7.4. It's structured. All the triangles are in triangles. And there's no problem. The body will absorb it. It knows it. It recognizes it. And it gets absorbed. And you're probably only going to need 1.5 liters if you're drinking straight spring water, just to say. Otherwise you need to, vortex the water, pour it from the one tumbler to the other, get a vortex each time. That's going to raise the charge of the water and restructure it nicely. And then it will be better absorbed as well. And, they've done tests at the bakeries where they use the spring water and tap water, and the loaves that are made with the spring water, the yield is higher, and the texture and consistency, etc., and everything of the loaf is better, because the wheat is able to the flour is able to absorb the spring water better and higher concentration than the normal tap water. So it's proven there, and you know what? You want to drink the spring water. Normal tap water, nobody really wants to drink that. But when your body tastes the spring water, you finish the glass. So that's also a way. But if you don't have all that with you, put some lemon juice in or a bit of Himalayan salt. And that'll help a lot as well. So, yes, it's not about the quantity of water. It's about the quality of the water. So this is a great question. And also the question here is talking about, drinking freshly prepared juices. Now, there again, there's a reason for the body to absorb that. First of all, it'll be nutrient dense. More than likely, you put a bit of lemon juice in it too, and the body will want to absorb that. So to answer your question, you will get better absorption. And there's another water, alkaline water, and the body will absorb that. It's got a higher pH between 9 and 10, about 9.5, and that will get absorbed. It's alkaline. But there again, if we were supposed to drink alkaline water on a long-term basis, the rivers would, and the rain would, and the spring water would be at 9.5. It's not. So 1 or 2 glasses of alkaline water a day would be good. Detoxify the body, bring in the alkalinity. Most people are acidic, so it's serving a good purpose there and helping also to detoxify. But more than that, I think, you're going to be overdoing it and disturbing the homeostasis of the body. So to me, there's nothing better than spring water. Spring water is medicine. Yes, and then also the mineral salts that we have, the electrolytes, the calcium, magnesium, potassium, that's also good if you put that into the water. It's like a rehydrate sachet, but it's obviously very specialized, and there's nothing cheap in it. It's very special calcium, magnesium, and potassium and other salts, very special. We also put boron in, and most people are deficient in boron because it's not in the soil. And boron is absolutely critical because boron removes the calcified calcium and takes the calcium from the diet and puts it back into the bone or into the bone. So boron is an absolutely critical, essential element that needs to be in any electrolyte. So we put it into ours, and the results are amazing. People, the stiffness goes straight away, and those people with bunions and toes that are skew and things like that all start straightening. and the plaque on the vessel starts disappearing, the stones in the liver and the kidneys, the plaque on the brain, the calcification in the prostate starts disappearing too. So that's very important. We've got other decalcification products like the decalcification flush that we have, the Chanca piedra as well. So those three are critical, and they're all working differently to regulate the calcium absorption and usage in the body. And remember, if you're too acidic, you're also going to keep losing calcium from the bones. Magnesium makes calcium, so we like to take some, like a raw cacao. It's full of magnesium. The plant with the highest amount of magnesium of all the plants. And that's always best. An Epsom salt bath, that's magnesium too. So that's sort of a little bit of extra info on the electrolytes, but they do definitely encourage absorption, and they help with digestion of food. So those mineral salts, getting in the sun, standing on the ground, taking the probiotic, and then eating, you've got just a recipe for success. That food will get absorbed. And if there's plaque in the intestine, of course, the products I've just mentioned, they're also going to clean the intestinal wall, the lung wall, genitourinary area, membranes. So that's a good one. Safe food combinations. I'm not sure what the person actually meant here. Safe food combinations. Well, the only thing that comes to mind is those people that are really battling with digestion. The food combining diet, where you don't combine a complex protein and a complex carbohydrate, for example, a fish and a rice. You'll rather have the fish and a simple carbohydrate like some pumpkin or squash or something. That is much easier to digest than fish and rice. So you would have rice at a separate meal, and you'd have your complex protein at a separate meal. That to me is the understanding of food combining. I don't really think that there's anything unsafe about food combining at all. It's just that it's much easier for the body to then to digest a complex protein with a simple carbohydrates and salads and things. We have to have raw food for absorption of any food, because the raw food activates the intestinal lining, and then it's going to absorb. So you can't get away from salad and veggies, I'm afraid. They need to be absorbed. So yeah, that's the food combining, and there's lots, I'm sure, on Dr. Google on all that. But it's got to do with the complex protein and a complex carbohydrate. So in the beginning, if you want to reset, or you've got a lot of gastric reflux or something, it's a good idea. I wouldn't do it really with children. They don't need it. They don't need to eat food like that. Anti-parasitic foods and diet. Well, I mean, anti-parasitic foods would be the, in terms of foods, you're going to talk about oils, because they hate oil. So if you took a lot of castor oil, turpentine oil, flaxseed oil, any of those oils, and you took sort of, for example, 2 tablespoons full, the parasites, most of them will die. Some of them will come out of the skin. They can't stand oil. So I hope that's one that's useful to you. And then it's the usual things like black walnut hull, artemisia. These are more on the herbal side as opposed to food. Cloves, that would be a food. Very good for parasites, the superficial parasites. To get the very serious, usually engineered parasites out, you're going to need something like our para-immune defense, because that's got very special herbs in it that don't allow the parasite to shapeshift. So you nail it in every corner. It can't live. So that would be very useful. Pawpaw pips, very good to also help. Pumpkin seeds, very good also for parasites. What not to have is anything sugary, complex carbohydrates, rice. We never want to have white potato, actually. We never want to have any white bread or rice. We don't really want wheat. It's too hybridized. So it's not my favorite food at all. And it just forms a paste on the intestinal lining, and nothing can get through, and all the parasites live in it. So that would be good. Yes, and to eat, don't eat food that's 3 days old, because that's also going to have already the parasites coming in. You see, a parasite comes in, or a worm or a pathogen, to help break down the food, because it's decaying now. The food's already cooked, it's out of the ground, it's cooked, and it's decaying. So that will attract worms immediately. So you don't want to be eating old food, because it's already attracting the degenerative organisms. And then you eat that, and then they proceed to try to, break you down, because that's what they do. And, you've seen it in very sick people. So be very particular. Eat clean on every level. I always say wash the veggies and the fruit in the oxygen water, because then you're killing also hormones and antibiotics and pesticides and parasites and heavy metals. So that's a good question. And then, yes, I would use some of our cell oxygen. You'll see a little bit later, it's on special at the moment, the capsules, and they will do wonders for the gut. You see, the gut is a tube from our mouth to our butt, and it's outside of us. And it's within us, but it's outside us. It needs to be squeaky clean. Hippocrates, all disease begins in the gut. So these are very important questions. And you need the flaxseed oil to line the mucous membrane to enable also the absorption of the amino acids and the simple, small chain, short chain sugars, and so on. Very, very important. And then let me see what else. I would like to know about fillers and binders. So she says, I know your supplements are pure, but many companies are using capsules with fillers. What does the body have to do to extract the pure product from these pills? And what does the body have to do to get rid of all the stuff that comes with these pills? Are fillers and binders causing damage to the body? So mostly, yes, they are. And it's quite astounding. A lot of them use rice powder, which is white rice, which is many people are it's intolerant of it. And as I said to you already, anything white is going to cause inflammation in the gut. So it's not a good idea at all. It's not really about extracting the pure product from the rice or the filler or the binder that they've used. That's already there. I think the point here is, what does the body do with the rest of these toxins? And of course, it's got to deal with them. The liver has to flush it out, the kidneys, the gut. So it does cause a bit of a problem. I just decided with the 365 Healthy by Choice range that I wasn't going to put any fillers or binders in, because we don't need to. So our capsules are 100% pure bee pollen, pure medicinal mushroom. I've got 6 of them in there, or reishi, or cordyceps, or chaga, pure blue-green algae, pure algae mix, to avoid this kind of thing. And then I sleep well, and I know I haven't poisoned anyone. And all our products, remember, have got a certificate of analysis guaranteeing purity above world standard, basically. So that is important. And with this, it goes even more important, because many supplements are synthetic, chemically made synthetics. Some of the fillers and the binders are synthetic chemicals as well, byproducts of industry. So they've done studies of a woman in their sort of 50s to 60s taking supplements. There was a group that were taking the supplements, a group that weren't, and they tracked them over a period of time. And the results showed that those that never took supplements lived longer. So you really do have to watch carefully what you're putting in your mouth, because most of it is synthetic. And I saw some results today on one of the sites that they found that 46% of the supplements on the market never had what they said was supposed to be in them, and had other substances in them that they never said were in the supplement either. And, that just goes to show that it's a wide open space and you don't really know what you're taking. Just stick to the food, the nutrition. That's what the 365 range is about, pure herbs and pure nutrition. And then you won't go wrong. You don't want anything added in, and you don't want chemical byproducts. They're on the shelf. They're cheap. Oh, sorry. They're cheap, and they're very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. And then there was another one here. I was asked about some of the products. So before I do that, I want to speak about two of our very sick patients, and I mentioned it in the post what they have, and they've both. This is just now in the last 2, 3, 4 days. They've been on the our oxygen drips at our drip clinic. So we do two kinds of drips there. We do the oxygen drip, the O2, and we also do the glutathione, vitamin C, 14 minerals and vitamins. Depends what cocktail you want. We also do those, but at a different time to the oxygen, because the oxygen is an antioxidant, and it's an oxidant, and the glutathione, vitamin C, etc., are antioxidants. So we do that on separate days. But these two, same disease. And the one lady was cervical, very sore kidneys as well. And basically she was told to wait for a month. The hospital could only see her in a month. And what is she supposed to do? The morphine that she was on was creating more pain than it was supposed to be preventing. And anyway, she found her way to us. And, within a day, she felt better. Within 2.5 days, she started eliminating the degenerative tissue, literally. And of course, the morphine and all of that creates so much constipation, and we broke through that as well. So the stomach is just emptying, and the pus and everything from the cervical degeneration is just pouring out as well, literally pouring out. And, we were able to do that in such a very short space of time and take the pain away. So another gentleman, the same, he came to us, could hardly, by the way, that lady I'm talking about couldn't even walk into the clinic. We had to carry her. After 3 hours, she walked out, face beaming, eyes white. And the gentleman as well, also really, really in pain. And most of these people have already gone for, chemo and radiation and so on, and don't want to go back because it didn't really help them. In fact, they regressed. So another typical one as well. And he went through a day or two of actually vomiting, because sometimes it's the quickest way out for the toxins to leave, and quickly reached in a very happy state, pain-free, and it's also been coming for the intravenous oxygen drips. So I really, really do want to impress upon you the importance of these drips. It's such a crucial space that we're occupying here at the clinic. And the results are just incredible. They've always been incredible. We slowed down a bit when I was doing my doctorate, but we're in full swing again now. So those people that want to come, please do. And those who want to know the vitamin C, the glutathione. Glutathione is the master antioxidant, the most powerful. So we have all of that as well. So I just wanted to share that with you, just to remind you of the facility that we have, and, the miracles we can perform very, very quickly. It's just so beautiful to see somebody, gaining life force and gaining charge. And we put them in the sun. We put their feet on the ground. We hydrate them. We help them breathe. We make sure they're sitting up straight. So starting to re-educate, right from the beginning. So it's really, really, really lovely. And I think that was all the main things to mention. There's a big run on the castor oil at the moment. We've got beautiful castor oil packs. We've got an extra large, a large, a medium, for the abdomen, and we've got a large neck one, and we've got a tiny thyroid one as well. So we've got 5 different options, also fitting pregnant women, also for pediatrics. So go and have a look on the website and you'll see all our whole range there. And we've got the castor oil too. So that castor oil is raw, it's yellow, and it's used in our eye drops, in our a little bit in our nose drops. It's used then also for the castor oil. We call it a poultice. And then those of you who were talking about the worms and parasites, what you would do is you would buy the 100 ml bottle. And I suggest you have quite a lot of raw food for 3 days before. In fact, mainly raw food. And then the night you're going to start, before bed, literally before bed, you take 2 tablespoons of the castor oil and you get into bed. No TV or reading or anything. You get into bed. Probably about 4 or 5 o'clock, there'll be a big bowel movement. The next night you do the same, 2 tablespoons, go to bed, and the third night you repeat. It's quite nice to have a piece of apple that you can just put in your mouth, because castor oil can be quite something to swallow. So just suck on the apple piece a little bit to take it away. And that's a wonderful cleanse. If you don't get a bowel movement, then you need to come and get the gut cleanse or something to clean out the gut and the probiotic. But usually, and that's great cleanse completely. So we've really got lovely things from the castor oil's point of view. And I'm just going to go to my slides here quickly and show you the specials for Father's Day and June. And just to go through them, I'm really trying to make it very easy. Last month was May, and everything on sale was 50% this month as well. So please avail yourself to the opportunity to detox and cleanse and buy the products you always wanted to buy, and come and get a consultation you've always wanted to. It's half price. So this is not going to be after this month. It's going to be, it's really for last month and this month, and that's it. So because it's Father's Day, we're starting with the male hormone balance. And in here, we've got a lot of Tribulus terrestris and all the hormone helpers and hormone builders. And you can go online and you can read all of them for yourself. But this one honestly works. The male and the female one work to balance very beautifully. You feel very calm and you feel sort of also inherently powerful. So we've put things, like libido and that, because obviously it does improve those things. But your wellness is important. We've got stress adaptogens in the male and the female hormone balance as well, to moderate the nervous system. And once that's under control, the hormones are in fact released. It doesn't end here. You do need the liver cleanse. And that's a whole discussion for another day. So let me go to the next one here, where we've got the Tribulus terrestris on its own. And it might take about 6 weeks to work, but it works. So female too, by the way. But let's just stick to the male here. So it's a very important thing. As you age, from about the age of 33, the percentage of testosterone declines. So, 33, 43, 53, 63, 73, there is a time when you want to possibly just, give those levels a boost. But remember, this is completely natural. We're using Tribulus terrestris, which is the plant. All right. And then next, we just go here. Where's it gone? Oh, there we go. Then we've got the cell oxygen capsules. I urge anybody to take these. So a child would take 1 capsule a day at lunchtime, adults 1, and then 2, and then 3. You can also stagger it an hour apart. And this brings in a whoosh of oxygen, and that's going to kill any parasite anyway. Not any, most. You need the peri-immune defense to kill the big guys. But this also will unblock the gut and clean up the gut, oxygenate it all. And then the mechanisms for digestion, absorption can happen naturally. So this is a great one. You feel it. It works well. And then we've got the Phyto-C. We put that in now. It's winter in the southern hemisphere. So there are 12 different plants in the Phyto-C across the colors of the rainbow. So from cacao, which is brown, baobab, which is green, all the greens, the green teas, the triphala, the amalaki, haritaki, all of them, the golden turmeric, the purple acai berry, across the color spectrum, all presenting vitamin C and the phytosterols in different forms, different molecular structures for the body to take what it needs when it needs it. There's pomegranate in there, there's rosehip in there, there's citrus bioflavonoids, just a whole combination. And that's great for prevention and when you're ill. So 2 a day prevention when you're ill, I would definitely do 2 twice to 3 times a day. And then we've got also the microbiome reset. So please, this one is on special, and I think it's the smaller bottle, but you'll go and check 50% off. I want those guts full of microbes for the digestion, for the immunity, and to ward off infection. We have to have them. And here you're getting up to 120 live strains. It says 80, but it's more. And the substrain. So your sort of fingerprint of your gut microbiome, it's individual, it's unique, will be restored. And it's brewed in the natural state. So it has potential to have, as I said, all those substrains. So that's very important. And then the gallbladder flush. Well, I'm telling you, we sell so much of this. You can't believe how many people have blocked gallbladder. The gallbladder is just under the rib cage. Also on the right, obviously alongside the liver, part of the liver. What happens is we calcify. We talked about that already. All the little stones form, and the little funnel for the gallbladder to release the bile acid gets blocked. When the bile acids aren't released, we don't get oil digestion. The cholesterol shoots through the roof. The blood is fatty, and so is the liver, and disaster sets in. So we have this gallbladder flush, and overnight the gallbladder opens and all the little stones fall out. You need some grapefruit and you need some olive oil at 10 o'clock in the drink there to swallow it down, to push everything through. And as I'm speaking, my little gallbladder ladder is speaking to me. I've done about 7 or 8 of these. I know someone who's on their 10th one, but every time there's some stones that come out. Initially in the beginning, sometimes the very hard ones, very calcified ones, other times little soft green ones that are. So we want to get to the point where we don't have any. And that's why we use that mineral salt that I have with the boron to stop the calcification, push all the calcium into the bone. And 1 or 2 slides from here, maybe the next one, let me just see. Yes, this one here has got 3 salts in it, different to the mineral salts. Okay, we've got MSM and ascorbic acid and the bicarb. So those 3 salts work together with lemon to also decalcify the body. So that's a different way of decalcifying. And by the way, the MSM and the lemon juice and the ascorbic acid form natural collagen in the body. And we're all needing collagen. This is a great one. Also price-wise, in Rand terms, it's $2.20. And I mean, for what it does, it's a whole month. And you should do that once a year at least. It's delicious. People love it. So that one goes very nicely with the liver cleanse. Because the gallbladder liver cleanse, yes, because that's going to throw out the stones. And then the other one, the other 2, the mineral salt electrolytes and the decalcification flush are coming in and cleaning the calcified calcium, and the boron is pushing it straight into the bone. So, we've measured it, and I can see on myself as well. There's very lean. The bones are clean. So I'm very happy with these 2. That one is in Rand terms, 160 Rand. That one is 220. I've just spoken about that. So get your vessels clean, your prostate clean, your kidney stones gone, your liver stones gone, the plaque on the arteries gone, the plaque on the brain gone. Then you won't really need the male hormone balance, because your brain will be able to secrete the hormones as necessary. So see, all of this is interlinked. And then we've got the Zeolite, one of the favorites. And I've got YouTubes on this as well. If you want to go to my YouTube channel, Jane McKenzie, you will find about up to 300 videos there now. And, there is one on Zeolite as well. Just search Zeolite and you'll get it, everything, ball by ball, whatever you need to know about Zeolite. But it's paramagnetic rock dust from the volcano. So magnetically, it attracts toxins. It lines the gut doesn't get absorbed, pulls out the toxins and the uric acid. It grabs onto and lets that out. So, part of calcification is because the body's acidic. So Zeolite it's about, in Rand terms, 190 Rand, I think. Zeolite just really complemented what we're trying to do here. So with men, with prostate, with July, we're wanting to get the gut working nicely. The Zeolite will do that, the detoxification and the calcification gone. Most men who have prostate problems, it's a calcification problem. So, those of you who are thinking, yeah, I need to do this, but what and when and how and all of that, we've got it all for you. So this special is our consultation. So we've got the smaller Q450 device, which gives us 450 readings minimum in a minute. Is going to pick up all this calcification and gut problems and cholesterol problems, circulation, liver, kidney, skin, male hormones, everything. And basically, on that baseline reading, we can act on it and recommend products for you. And we can remeasure so you can see your progress. That's the beauty of what we do. And then the QUEXED, which is the advanced version of the Skio, also at half price. So that's at Rand terms, $895. The other one's $625. So you've never seen before at half price like this. I urge you to book. If you can't come right now, just book and pay. We can always schedule your time in down the road. But as I said, this is definitely, these are May, June specials and were not to be repeated. So I wanted it to be, a massive sale in May and a gigantic sale in June. So please avail yourself to these beautiful products and the opportunities. And you can book online and you can buy online. When you go into the website, look for sale and all the items are listed there. There might be others. For example, our reset kit. We've got the cell oxygen, the DMSO, the flaxseed, and the microbiome reset, our reset kit, where we start with that as a basis for everybody. We will then add in the decalcification or the liver flushes or the skin or the hormones, whatever we find, parasite cleansing. But we've got to start with that reset kit. That's 20% off because it's already discounted. And we had the function on Sunday, so it's there. So if you're wanting those 4 products, it's usually 1,250 Rand. And it's now 1,050 Rand. So you're basically getting the DMSO bottle for free. So yes, again, I urge you, there's no reason to be ill. Not in my books, not with what I can give you, my company can give you. So let's get purified on the physical level and then come with your bookings. We'll do the assessment. I'll do the emotional work too. And believe you me, you'll be telling me the emotion before I've even asked. So it's easy. We don't have to dig too deep. And then we clear. And that makes me very happy to do that. So that ends today's session. It's so wonderful to be back and to be, sharing with you. So just keep the questions coming to me, even if you inbox me, say, Jane, please speak about this. Can we speak about that? Can you go through, your methodologies with us again? Can you go through how to mix this or mix that, or take this or take that, or can this happen with that? Whatever your questions might be, and I'm happy to ask. It's an open thing on a Thursday. I'll answer whatever questions you want me to answer. And so, I'll just be referring most of your questions to Thursday when I'll answer on Thursday. And I think that's going to save me a lot of time. I can see more people and help more people. So there's lots of exciting things coming up for the second half of this year. And I'll be sharing those with you too. I'm going to be sharing a very big award that I won next week. So thanks again for coming. Always an honor and a privilege. And I hope you've learned a lot. Please share with everybody. Go to the YouTubes, like them, comment, and ring the bell and all those things. And then more and more people will see it, because the more the videos like, the more they show it. So then more and more people will be made aware of what we do. Okay. All the best. Bye.